It's been a couple weeks since we've watched Outsider Racing League take to the track, and this week we head in for round number 9 from Richmond Raceway. Welcome to Sim TV. My name is Kyle Heyer, joined by Finney and DeCuna tonight for the 9th round of the 2020 Outsider Racing League Series. Things are a little bit off tonight, Finney, and the sun has decided to stop moving across the sky. If it wasn't already Armageddon enough, the Earth has stopped rotating and everything has stopped with it. So we're going to have what was supposed to be a day-to-night transition race is going to be stuck perpetually in sunset, probably forever. I think the drivers stopped aging as well.
Yeah.
And everyone that was really close to graduating is pretty upset.
Yeah, I think this is definitely going to be some foreshadowing from iRacing. You know, talk about commentators curse. It's going to be a real-life commentators curse coming up. But no, here we are at Richmond. As you're saying, it's not going to be going into tonight. It's going to be perpetually in the afternoon, similar to the old system.
Yeah, this is a throwback to like 2015, really, is what this is. But,
how iRacing used to be.
Yeah, but I just got, so excuse me if I'm a little bit scatterbrained, I just got off of a 5-hour-long broadcast with the Hoosier Racing Tire SCCA Esports Super Tour, where we actually had a really fun race. We got to interview Jimmy Johnson and Parker Kligerman. They raced Cadillacs at Watkins Glen. If you're interested in watching that, you can head on over to the SCCA official YouTube channel and watch that back. It's up right now, either there or on their Facebook page. But now it's time to go racing, thankfully for me, in a little bit less of a stressful setting with the Outsider Racing League. They let me mess up once in a while, which is nice. But qualifying already complete. Brandon Bauer, Zach Carr, Yusuf Golly, Joshua Banks, Eli Hint in your top 5 here. And some changes to the racing surface that are going to be apparent tonight. We've got the new safer barrier around this racetrack, which has narrowed up the surface about 4 to 5 feet. That's going to change how these drivers run this track because they're not used to this quite yet.
Yeah, when I was setting up cameras earlier, when these guys were practicing, there's a lot of guys that hit the wall coming off turn 2. And actually, if you look at the middle of your screen, you actually kind of see a little bit of rubber of these guys spinning off of turn 2. If you go back to that shot, you can see it. You can see kind of just a rubber strip.
I see, right here, right in the middle of your screen, that little lightly darkened spot there.
All the guys spinning off of 2, and I think you can see a similar thing on the front stretch too. Coming off 4, a lot of guys getting loose there. As you look at Ronan's got a fairly close to the wall, if not a piece of the wall.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing this a lot tonight, drivers flirting with the edge of the fence, just because they're used to driving the version without the safer barriers on the front and back straightaway, so the track's less wide than it used to be. And there's Robert Gaba, who had a really solid run a couple weeks ago. We never got a chance to talk to him, but here he is in the 75, running right now his qualifying effort not complete yet.
Yeah, I think it's also going to catch people off guard, too, the fact that we're running this in the late afternoon. I think a lot of guys are practicing and expecting this race to go into darkness, and to go with some cooler temperatures. So the track's going to be a little bit hotter than they anticipated. We're seeing a lot of guys sliding around as a result.
So qualifying is complete, and Robert Gaba won't get a chance to finish his second lap. He'll go 22nd quick. Hey, we have got 38 drivers lined up for this one tonight. That's a big field for Richmond Raceway. We've seen this track be kind of messy in the past. Expectations for tonight, it's a 180-lap race. That gets us about an hour and 3 minutes of racing if we go green from start to finish. I'm not convinced that we can do that all the way from start to finish, but your thoughts? Look at how, this is actually really interesting. Look at how smooth the racing surface is because of the rubber laid down in 3 and 4. That's really interesting.
Yeah, it also looks really awesome to see the reflection. Rubber put down.
We didn't grid on the racing surface before either. This is the new grid stalls, I think. I think we used to actually grid in Richmond on pit lane. So this is kind of interesting to take a look at here. But as the field grids up, we'll take a look at our weather, which should stay perpetually the way it is. The time is ticking away here, but that's just done. That's calculated at the start of the server and won't obviously. It runs internally within ATVO, not within the sim. So track surface nice and cool as we got the sun setting. That's about 6:50 p.m. here in the evening. So take a look here at our starting lineup here in just a moment.
Take a look on your front row. It's going to be Brandon Bowers in the 31. Great qualifying effort out of him. Starting on pole next to him, Zach Carr in the 27 in second.
In row number 2, Yusuf Golly in the number 54 car. The beautiful grid life colors on that machine right alongside Joshua Banks in the 36. Coulda, shoulda, woulda won this race last season. He rolls off 4th.
Back in 5th, we find Eli Hinton. Great qualifying effort from him. His return for the season. Next to him, Adam Cabin, the 77, lining up in 6th.
Alex Bell back in 7th place in his number 15 car out of Ohio, and Bryce Calusa in his number 20 rolls off in 8th.
Back in 9th place is going to be Elliot Butler in the 6th from the Virginias. Next to him, Zach Halpern in 10th in the 26th from Florida.
And back in row number 6, AJ Stravato in his number 33. Got a new paint scheme on board that car tonight alongside Michael Sturgill in the number 90. He rolls off 12th out of Ohio.
Back in 13th, the 24, Bailey Turner is going to be lining up in the inside lane next to Michael Howden in 96th, 14th.
In 15th place, Tim Downey Jr. out of Florida in his number 25 Toyota Camry, and Jeremy Miller in his number 30. He rolls off 16th in his Camaro.
Back in 17th, it's Caleb Weekly in the 10 car. Next to him, he's going to be lining up next to Tony Woodside, a new driver, and 18th in the few new drivers on the grid tonight.
Back in 19th, Brian Chambliss and Ben Laughter in the number 64, making his return to ORL action in 20th tonight.
Andrew Gustafson in the 42 and 21st. He's going to be lining up next to Robert Gavin in the 75, starting in 22nd.
In 23rd place, Casey Lakatos in the number 50, Connor Horn in the number 3 car, back in 24th out of New Jersey.
And it's going to be a long day for Connor Horn to get up to the front after winning at Kansas 2 weeks ago. Skylar Shacker in the 88 will be starting inside next to Jeff Wright in the 48, back in 26th.
27th place, Brennan Gagnon in the number 83 car, Terry Silvers in 28th in his number 44.
Back in 29th, it's going to be Matt Wagner in the 18 car. Next to him, Sam Devancher in 30th in the 97.
Angelo Rona starts 31st tonight in his number 11 out of Pennsylvania. Clifton Cockrell in the number 16 from Texas, back in 32nd.
33rd, Eddie Trejo in the 21 is going to be lining up the inside lane. Next to him, Steve Turner in 34th in the 22nd.
35th place, Joshua Jenkins, a new driver tonight in his 94 out of Ohio, and Jacob Plank rolls off 36th in his number 38 out of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it should be the last row. Martin Sproul in the 19 car is going to be lining up at 37th, and David Mudd Jr. is at Abbott for tonight in 29 car in 38th.
That's it for the grid tonight. We're going to roll on the back straightaway, getting lined up for our start. 180 laps from Richmond Raceway in Richmond, Virginia. This track is as old as NASCAR, and it puts on some spectacular racing. Brendan Bowers again. His qualifying has gotten really impressive lately. A couple poles on the season as we roll on rocket out of turn number 4. Green flag flies, and we're racing at Richmond Raceway for round number 9 of the 2020 Outsider Racing League. Lap number 1 complete. Sideways in the background. Car off the front straightaway. It's Caleb Weekly's number 10. He's going to collect it and continue.
They're going to lose a few spots in the process, but most of the leaders getting single filed out early on. There's the Zach Cart machine in the 27, lined up in 3rd, trying to get past Yusuf Golly. And these two are in a really epic fight in the points. Yusuf Golly's currently your points leader, but Zach Cart 2 points behind in 2nd place. These guys didn't get out. It's currently, as far as wins are concerned, Golly's got 3, Zach Cart 2, but he's trying to even up with that 54.
Couple cars shuffling in the background. The 24 of Bailey Turner to the inside of the 26 of Zach Halpern. And the Downey Enterprises cars really took a lot of time to get up to speed here as we have a caution on the racetrack. Terry Silvers in the 44 goes around, and I think Steve Turner is also in the wall. He's buried in there hard.
And the 83 of Brendan Gagnon, he's also got looped around, but is going to be able to get back rolling and stay on the lead lap as leaders come out of turn 2 there. We'll take a look, see what happened here. This is in the back of the pack.
There's the 44, comes on in, just gets loose on corner entry, and then the 83 of Gagnon goes around the outside, just gets clipped, and goes pretty hard into the wall, though. So both those cars, pretty severe damage to start this race. Only 4 laps in, and actually Turner just missed it there. Turner came in at the end. This is all happening the exit of turn number 2. Steve Turner just tries to go right and just clips the 83. That's going to be big time damage on the Mission 22 sponsored car of Steve Turner, who has already called it a night. So we'll head back live. And Bowers leads the way, and this car is just so pretty. We've said it time and time again, but you put that candy apple red, Coca-Cola color, whatever you want to call it, out there on the racetrack, and the sun's glinting off of it, it is a beautiful color.
And also, he's done a great job of getting that car to the front of the field, at least for the starts of these races. This is the 2nd pole of the season so far. The 31's been really fast in qualifying. We'll see if he can keep it up for other race. I think he's been showing some decent pace early on, but we did see him come sliding off at turn 4 on lap 1. I think that's also going to be a big thing, is conserving these tires, especially because we're not going to see the nighttime come. So track's going to be pretty hard. You're going to adapt. It's going to mean you're going to have to look after those tires a lot more. It's Connor Horn from 24th already to 15th.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the gold scheme that Austin Dillon ran a couple of years ago. I want to say it was in either the All-Star race or maybe the Daytona 500, one of those two.
I think the All-Star race.
I can't remember, but that's a great. Now the spec maps make that look just absolutely pop. He started back in 24th. Not sure what happened in qualifying for him. We did see about 15 cars hit pit lane from Bailey Turner on back. But I'm not really sure tires would be worth a whole lot right now. Maybe just to get yourself out of the middle of the pack and you got plenty of time to work your way through the field at your own pace tonight, so you might as well take your time.
Pull through here off of turn 2. But really, I am interested in seeing this fight between the 54 and the 27. I think they've established themselves as championship favorites, and even you can throw in Connor Horn into the mix. He's far back in the points only because he missed 2 races. He's 6th in the points with only 6 starts. Everyone else has started 8 after the 8 rounds we've had. So
wow.
That just kind of shows you how good he is, that he's able to miss 2 races, still be pretty high up in the point standings. So I'd say really, I'm looking at this championship fight between the 54, the 27, and the 3. Connor Horn obviously pretty far back in the field. You can see him rolling through the screen, but I don't think it'll take him too long to get back to the front.
And we were just filled in that this car was actually run at Daytona. Was it? I feel like it was the night race, though. I feel like it was the. It was the All-Star. Never mind. We're corrected again.
Okay,
either way, this car ran at some track at some time, and Daniel Hemrick ran an identical scheme with the 3. Okay,
yes.
That's all that matters. It's cool. It's a great looking scheme. Connor did a good job either reproducing it or running, or whoever painted it at least did a really nice job with that. So we should be coming to the restart here shortly. Golly getting a little bit aggressive there with the pace car. He's got the Grid Life Touring Cup colors on this car, and Grid Life Touring Cup, of course, the series that we commentate in the real world. Obviously, not functioning right now as our most other racing series. However, Grid Life does race on Tuesday nights with the Grid Life iRacers group, and you can find me producing and commentating those streams on Tuesday nights at 9 on the Grid Life YouTube channel, as well as their Facebook and Twitch. And trust me, it's a heat race format, kind of rallycross style, and it is a blast to watch that night kind of the formula that they have figured out. It's really cool. So, all right, let's turn them loose here at the end of lap number 8. We're going to get our first restart of the night. Bowers chooses the inside lane. This might change later in the evening. You could see drivers maybe potentially elect for the outside line later in the night. Green flag is up, and it is now out. Back in the air, racing at Richmond Raceway. Hanks got real close to the wall at the exit at 2. I'm not sure if he got into it, but he's getting like hinted to the inside.
Whoa, someone around. Klusa in the 20 up into the wall. Another caution out. And Elliot Butler got a piece of it.
And so far, not so great as the Intel car take as heavy as a hit as it did when the Ryzen chips came out.
I was also thinking of trying to make a joke out of that too.
I beat it to it. But Ryzen wins again. Here's a look on the back straightaway. This is the 6 and the 20. Oh, is there a tap? The AJ Stravano car got into the back of the 20, and look how easily that car turned around. These things must really be on edge if it went around that easily. Already the tempers are going to flare. Well, we're not going to be able to see the sparks as much as we could if the night was actually coming, but I'm sure the drivers are going to be hot enough to see even in the daylight. So caution is out here for the second time tonight as we take a look down from high above. We want to thank iRacing for finally. It took them to get on national television all the time for them to actually do this, but now finally
that's like
we have
the tracks. Harbor, Talladega getting all the updates.
We have safer barrier around the perimeter of this track.
Also, a very minor thing that no one really else care about. I love the fact that they've also started to put textures on the grass, like sponsors.
Oh, because they didn't really do that in the past.
No, yeah, like I think Daytona was the first one. Like the repave of Daytona was the first one that they did. And they only just put the Daytona logo. I just always felt like the front stretch looked kind of empty.
Yeah, so I wonder if there's licensing problems with those.
Probably.
Because they're very temporary, so that sort of thing. But either way, I'm just glad that we finally have safer barrier on the tracks that needed at least some of them so far.
And also too, we get the nice kind of old-fashioned.
The candy striping, I love that. Darlington needs it so bad, but I think it makes racetracks look super cool, especially when we're, especially in the nighttime. Of course, stuck without it, but. It looks really cool when you get real close. You watch cars zipping past them, because the whole idea of it is that makes cars look like they're going faster.
Yeah.
Because they have a reference to compare them with, and that's why Atlanta has it now. Darlington has it now. Richmond, of course. It's a really cool look. So second caution of the night out at lap number 11. We'll have the timing and scoring school at the top of your screen. At the clip, I'm not sure if it's only it's actually in a pretty good spot here, the sun, in terms of where it's setting. It sets kind of off of turn, like in the middle of turns 3 and 4.
Yeah.
So you really only get it for a second. Maybe if you're way in the back.
I think they might get it a little bad coming through turn 2 is when they're gonna probably have it hit them in their face. So
yeah, let's actually ride on board here with Bowers and see when you catch it. Again, it really shouldn't be a big issue unless you're in VR, but it's not directly in your eyes like it is at Auto Club or Daytona and some other tracks. See, it's almost behind the grandstands here at the exit at turn 2, just for a moment. Oh, those new track textures are so crisp.
Yeah.
They have a bump map too, so they actually look like pavement photographs. Kidding aside, I've always thought iRacing did a really good job with texturing.
Yeah, I know.
Even back in the day, because I think one thing that iRacing does really well is they do a lot more with a lot less. Think about curbing. I always rip on them for not doing it in 3D, but they do a really good job convincing you as 3D just with a texture and a bump map. They do a really good job with that.
Basically coming across the line should be 1 degree this time.
And it is.
And we'll foul up yet again after 2 cautions slowing the pace down. Not a whole lot of change up towards the front.
I haven't really had a lot of time to change things up front. Only about 3 laps of green flag racing before we had to re-rack them, restack them, try again. We're going to do that once more.
And even though there hasn't been a whole lot of time to move, Connor Horn went from 15 to 11.
Well, he's insane.
And within a lap of a green flag run. So.
Well, he's gained 13 spots in 14 laps and only about 3 or 4 of them under green. So he's making his way forward very quickly and very dangerously for everybody else. Pace car rolls through turns 3 and 4. Gonna turn him loose on lap number 15 for the outside of Racing League at Richmond Raceway. And Bowers gonna lead us down. Green flag back in the air from Richmond. Bowers gets away clean. Look at Eli Hinton on the inside of the 36 of Joshua Banks as they exit turn number 4. Battles all the way throughout the field. There's a little bit of 3-wide action, though. Casey Lakatos in the middle of it. Jeremy Miller on the bottom, Caleb Weekly up top.
Miller trying to get on past Lakatos on the inside. Looks like he's going to be able to clear the 50 now. And now they can move up some spots or at least attack the cars ahead. Looking at Bailey Turner and Sprout side by side as well as Chambliss. And it's Ben Laughter on the inside of that Ford Mustang.
Up to 11 from his starting spot of 20th place, so he's had a really good start to the night. Jacob Plank in behind. He's a driver that we don't see a whole lot. Look at this move, 36 to 12, obviously aided by a lot of the drivers in front of him making pit stops, but still going forward. You see right behind him, Bailey Turner using the chrome horn, or at least the gold bow tie on the nose of that car to push up and out. Ryan Chambliss, he'll go through for 13th.
Time to slide up ahead of them for I think 8th place, and it's Connor Horn nonetheless to the inside. He's been making we've been like a stuck record throughout the beginning of this broadcast, but it's really impressive how many positions he's moved up in a very short amount of time, still putting guys positions down as he's moving his way up. And it's still Bowers up in front, Yusuf Golly and Jack Carr top 3.
And Golly starting to close in just slightly. Last time by ran about 100th of a second quicker. We'll see if he can keep the longevity in these tires. Sitting right behind the race leader. Golly's already won a handful of races so far this year. Closing in now on the 31 of Brendan Bowers, who is still looking for his first victory in ORL competition. And as we say every single time, he always starts off so strong, but can't get the finishes to match his pace. So maybe tonight is the night, but he's really got to hang on. But Golly putting the pressure on.
Yeah, well, Golly almost got a piece of the wall there. Got really close to the exit at turn 2. Ready to make a move at the 31 that has a slip up. You can see these guys starting to break away from the rest of the field, mainly 4th place. Eli Hinton is actually under attack from Joshua Banks behind. And you're talking about how Banks, he had a really good shot at winning this race last time these guys were here.
He ended up spinning out with about 15 or 20 laps to go while running at least in in the top 3. So and he was coming to the front too. So he really probably could have or should have at least won that race, but didn't get that done that night. So looking for some redemption. 22 laps in to this 180-lap race. Bailey Turner's back to 12th. He's the lead car that has already hit pit lane once tonight. And he pit a while ago. He's about 17 laps on this set of Goodyears. Connor Horn up to 6th place, going by Adam Cabot, who's got a new paint scheme on board this car this week here, Finian. Still Lawn Tech, but also got Simply on the side of that car.
Yeah, I usually see him do with a paint scheme change. I've not seen him.
Yeah, he's run the same scheme
yeah.
for months,
Yeah.
if not over a year. So that's the first time we've ever seen anything other than green on that 77.
I dig it though. I love
It looks great. For the lead, top three closing in. And Zach Carr, after a dominant win at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course a few weeks ago, starting to put pressure on Yusuf Golly, and he better start doing it because he is still behind the 54 in the points with Golly's more recent victory at Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, again, those guys in a really tight fight. Actually, just looking at our top five, so one of the fastest guys, at least the lap before, was Eli Hinton and Banks are making up some time. But looking back at Bailey Turner now, he's got two guys ahead of him. That's the 96 Howden on the outside, Plank on the inside. Battle for 10th place.
Throttling up. We'll see if we'll take a
Caution.
look. It's a big mess out of turn number 2.
Oh, it looks like Halpern was stuck in the middle where he got a big piece of damage to the front of that car.
Yep. I can't actually see who was the one that got turned around, but we're going to find out here in just a moment. So Halpern was kind of in the middle of... Actually already had that damage and actually didn't have anything to do. I think it was Skylar Shackelford in the 88, and he was super impressive in his debut a couple weeks ago. Got a little bit of a touch from Robert Gaba. Turns him around. Let's go back and see if we can look from up above. Was the hole there? Not really.
Gaba kind of got him in the rear, but kind of also helped the 88 get back straight again.
Obviously didn't mean to do it, so we'll turn him back straight. Third caution of the night at lap number 26. Now I would expect everyone to hit pit lane, and look at that, like clockwork. We're on down.
Here, so we see anyone dare to pull some strategy just to give themselves some track position. Looking like it's a decently, not decently, but kind of hard to pass. It definitely is going to take some work.
Well, I think not transitioning to the nighttime is going to be really interesting because the temperature is going to stay a little bit warmer, and I'm not quite sure that we're going to see a single line be the best way for the whole race. To see the race off pit lane, that was tight. I think Bauer still got it.
Yeah, I think
we'll see if they reorganize.
It's really close though, but not close enough.
See if that is the case or if Golly gets to keep it. I haven't reorganized just yet. Let's go back and take a look at the race off pit road, and maybe the 54 did beat him to the timing and scoring line right there.
Get some slow.
Would have been not by a lot, but here is a look. It's you. Back right. As he's going to peel out. We're looking for the green, or the line with the green cones. Well, so I've seen this happen before.
Yeah.
And this is likely due to where iRacing puts the virtual transponder, which in the real car is right in front of the left rear tire, where the battery is, as far as I know. And so that difference is just enough to give Yusuf Golly the lead. And if Bauer saw what we just showed, he'd probably be very upset and probably be petitioning it over the radio right now, but likely not listening in. So he will line up at least second for the restart. A couple drivers came on through. Some did not pit. Jeff Wright, one of those drivers. And he started his night in 26th and is your current leader.
Yeah, and actually surprised. So we saw the 11 of Ronis and Lakatos. They rolled through their pits, or they didn't even come down to their pit stall. They just rolled on by through pit road. I was surprised. I would have thought, potentially they just missed their stall, or whatever, because I think the majority of the field the first time they made their trip down a pit road. So I thought they would have come on back down, but it looks like they're going to stay out with Wright. Lining up second and third. Again, so our top three have not been to pits yet. I
like this idea. I like the strategy because it's so early in the race that you have time to recover from whatever hardships follow a strategy like this. If it works, it works. You stay up front. If it doesn't work, you just don't do it again. You get 4 fresh Goodyears, 4 Mr. Feelgoods as Darian Laryl. That's what I was about to say. Daryl and Larry. What did I say?
Daryl Laryl?
Darian Laryl. Darian. That sounds like a fan fiction of some sort.
Okay.
On the cusp of creation. Darian Laryl. Daryl McReynolds and Larry Waltrip. that's so wrong.
Well, looks like Lakatos went back down a pit road, so it's just going to leave Ronis and Wright out on old tires. Everyone else fresh ones.
Yeah, again, I like this call. I like trying something. Let's give it a shot here, see how it goes. I'm not confident it's a great idea, but we're going to see maybe if they can hang out up front, if they can get a few heat cycles on the cars behind, it might help him out. Green flag back in the air, lap number 31.
Pre-start for the 11 of Ronis, and here comes to the inside the 11, and trying to get up some spots potentially. 54. Meanwhile, it's Jeff Wright trying to defend from everyone behind him. Curious to see how long he can hold on to that spot.
See how it works, but so far so good for the 48 car. Ronis going backwards. Jeff Wright has stayed up at the front, but Yusuf Golly puts pressure on them now as they roll through 1 and 2. Eli Hinton stuck in behind the 11 car now on the outside lane. Through goes Carr on Brennan Bowers here into turn 3.
Carr is able to open up the door now, trying to work to the inside of Bowers. He's got a little bit of a better run. They're pretty much equal off of 4. Down into turn 1, Carr's in the advantage with the inside lane.
For the lead, here comes Yusuf Golly with a run at the exit at turn 2. Can't do anything about it just yet. Now he takes a dive into turn 3, bit of a late look, backs out.
Oh, that caused Wright to go up the hill. That opened up the door at the very least, and a great run off the corner for Golly with those fresh tires.
Yeah, the 48 just slipped a little bit, and the 54 hooked the inside apron. You saw him kind of get the left sides right down there on the line, and that's good enough to take the lead away. Yusuf Golly goes to the point at lap 34. Whoa, big dive from Michael Sturgill into turn 3 on the inside of the 77. He'll go through into 8th, but I don't think Cabot's done yet. And if memory recalls, has the 77 won here? I feel like it's, he won a race here a couple seasons ago. Zach Carr putting pressure on Jeff Wright, and pressure no longer because he's going to have the spot down into turn 1. Bit of a slide, and he'll pull right in front of the 48. Now look at Brennan Bowers trying to get on by. So the strategy definitely not working. It'll work for a couple laps, but not for more than that.
Yeah, meanwhile for Ronis, he's been consistently falling through the order. Not at a terribly fast rate, but he's not really slowing down that falling rate either. And actually right behind him is Connor Horn trying to make a pass on the 11. Going to look to the inside, also planking behind, trying to follow on through.
Look at that gold shimmer in the sunlight as Ronis gets moved back to 9th. Jacob Plank has a run at the 11 car as well as the 77 with Cabot trying to move his way back forward. But Zach Carr has moved into 2nd and now tries to close the gap on the 54 Golly, and he did last time by, so 0.2 of a second separating our leaders. We got some great midfield battles here. Off into turn 1, Tim Downey Jr., Jeremy Miller, and more.
You were talking earlier about the Downey Enterprises guys, now kind of showing some more pace compared to the beginning of the season. This is kind of more or less, I think, where we would have thought they would have started the season off at. Running midfield, hasn't been terribly great run either. Still looking back up at the 3 Connor Horn, fighting with Sturgill. Had to make a pass last run through, and now had to do it again.
And through into 7th goes the number 3 car. And for the lead, though, Zach Carr is there and putting pressure on the 54.
Yeah, he's going to try to diamond the exit a little bit, get a better run off the corner than the 54, but can't get it done. And now it's just a matter of just looking for a way on by.
And you see how late they're waiting in the corner, letting the car roll through the middle. Try to carry as much speed as possible without scrubbing any off. Or now we'll take a look to the inside of Eli Hinton. This is for 6th place.
Horn with the run now, going to dive it deep to the inside. Looks like Hinton's going to let him on by.
Sturgill's going to try to fill the hole too, and I don't think Hinton gave permission to the 90. And he'll try to hold off the spot. Oh. He gets into the fence at the exit of 2. That's a pretty hard hit there, Finney.
Yeah, that's going to easily give the lane at least to the 90 of Sturgill. Now Plank going to also try to follow his way on through, so Hinton with some early right side damage.
That car really putting pressure on the 54. And this is frustrating as a leader because you want to be able to run at your own pace and not feel like you have to run at full beans trying to keep drivers behind you. But that's what Golly's has to do right now, unless he wants to lose the lead to get Zach Carr. And it's not a guarantee. If Zach Carr gets the lead, he's got the jump on the restarts, and their whole night could be over at that point. So you got to fight hard. Here comes Alex Bell to the inside of the 48.
Bell trying to move up through the order. I think started a little bit in the back part of the top 10. Now moves his way up.
Started back in 7th place tonight. Connor Horn goes through the 48 for 5th spot. Well, behind him, there goes the 25 of Tim Downey Jr. on through the 11 of Ronis, and Brian Chambliss, who started his night in 19th. He's only gained 3 spots, but is moving forward. It actually has a Redenzo scheme on that card. Look at that. That's a great looking scheme.
That's the same paint scheme on his Xfinity ride as well.
Does he have any ties to Redenzo?
I don't know. I think he just asked for permission.
That's pretty cool.
To run.
The little bit of a sponsor crossover to the Redenzo Sports Car Challenge that's been running on Wednesdays the last couple weeks. Our next round is going to be at VIR, not this week, but next on Wednesday night. That'll be at 8:30 p.m. on our channel right here on Sim TV. Jacob Plank, Jeff Wright, trading spots for 8th.
Yeah, enough right. He's really struggling to keep to that inside link compared to the guys in behind. Just get such a better drive off into the corner. They can also afford to dive in a lot harder and use the tires to grip through better.
Dropped off the timing and scoring for just a moment. As Connor Horn gets through Alex Bell, put him up into 4th place now, and look at where he started, where he's run. We've talked about him all night long, but 24th to 4th plus 20 spots, and still clicking off some amazing lap times. He's going to be battling for the lead here in not too long.
Although looking back up to our leaders, Bauer's starting to close in to our top 2, so it's beginning to be a 3-way fight yet again.
Yeah, Bauer's actually running a lot quicker than the leaders the last few laps on by. Then it's 1.7 back to Horn. Half a second back behind that to find Alex Bell. He runs a little wide in 3 and 4. Sturgill having a good night up in 6th.
A really good night for the 90. Fighting out with these guys to the front, actually making some progress on through. He's gotten past the 5 of Hinton, now looking at Bell. Bell's been really struggling on his tires. See, the second time we've seen him go really high on exit. Now here comes Sturgill immediately to the inside in 3.
Yeah, I think Bell's just accelerating a little bit early and pushing the car up off the corner. Sturgill washes up slightly as they run side by side off turn number 4 or 5th spot.
Yeah, Bell got a decent run off the corner, but Sturgill is going to potentially try to get him back on the inside. Hey, he's been struggling with the runs off. Bell's been pinching him down there, keeping him down there. He's been able to defend that spot for now. Caution now.
Oh, that's a big one on a turn 2. 3, 4, 5 cars all in it. Oh, the 26 couldn't get slowed down in time. 30 of Jeremy Miller's got a piece of it. Look at the 19 of Sproul. He's all torn up.
Yeah, his car is looking very much worse for wear.
That's a big mess. Back and take a look at how this one all started at the exit of turn number 2. And I think it might have, oh, right there, the 33 and the 96 get together, and oh, Sprout takes a hard hit into the wall. And there it was on. I'm wrong, but I think the 33 has gotten into a couple of cars tonight. This will be the second.
Yes, yeah.
It turns around the 96, and of course, Sprout has nowhere to go, hits the wall, bounces off. And the 30 car Miller tries to evade, but you see him in the background there just get clipped.
Yeah, for a lot of the guys, there's just nowhere to go. The entire track was blocked. A few guys were able to scrape their way on by.
Yeah, well, actually, we're right on board with Casey Lakatis, one of the Sim Motorsports drivers. Was all the way behind this, but I got a pretty good view of the aftermath. Also try to find Jeremy Miller's on board, right on board with the 30 car. Whew, we're going to go back a little bit farther than this. We're right on board the inside. Really like the look of the black roll bars on this car, by the way. As it comes out at turn 2, kind of unsighted and couldn't quite get it hooked enough. And he actually had Robert Gaba on the left, so he couldn't just make a hard left.
He couldn't full on turn to the left, so had to give a lane. Looking up from the top, from the blimp.
You're going to see Gaba dive up the inside, so Miller knows that he can't just make a hard left right here. The 64 just, for lack of a better term, just ass-packed the 75. I didn't know what else to say, but that's what happened.
Yeah, no.
Apologize for the language, but that's the best word for the case.
Demonetized.
Yeah. So, I mean, sometimes you just need a word, and that was the word. So, 52 laps into our 180-lap event tonight, about 47 minutes of racing remaining when we go back green. As Casey Lakatis again stays out, but then we'll hit pit lane. So we've had drivers come on down again. Jeff Wright stays out again.
I'm surprised with that. Yeah, I would have come in this time.
Would have thought he had kind of figured out, maybe that wasn't a good strategy, but here he is.
I mean, there's worse calls to make, but I definitely would have come in this time, especially because we're looking like we're starting to get more longer and longer green flag runs. So I think, now we're looking at lining up for a solid green flag run. As more drivers are dropping out of this race, and he's only going to be on a worse set of tires compared to the guys behind him. Although I think the majority of the guys in behind him directly didn't come back. Actually, no, I stand corrected on it.
I'm not even paying attention to it anymore, so
No,
you gotta fill me in.
If you can just pull up
The overlays that no one else can see.
Yeah.
I can open this wider, I don't know why I don't.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was wondering why it said it only had like 2 and 3 laps. This is the first digit. And you see, I'm trying to see how many. That?
What are you looking for?
Oh, did everyone come in?
Everyone came in. Oh, Jeff Wright did come to. Oh, he just took 2 tires.
Oh, okay. That's what I was trying to piece
We weren't
together.
looking at the right part of the timing and scoring.
I thought it was cutting off the first digit. I'm trying to process how Jeff got the lead back.
Well, he did it by taking 2 tires.
Okay, that's a better call. That's a much better call.
So after that little bit of confusion, we're gonna head back green here in just a moment. My brain is not on a high functioning level
No, because
right now.
I saw a lot of guys in the back half of the field, their pit timers were running, so I didn't really notice the guys up top either. So, oh well.
All right, let's turn them loose again. Lap number 55 at a pretty solid green flag one. Run. Let's try it again. Try speech again. Speech 100. Green flag back in the air. That's what we should call this race. Big walk down into turn 1 for the 48.
Outer horn trying to get a great
Oh, the 54!
Golly!
Sideways and spinning at the exit of 2. Everybody piling up and trying to miss it as they clobber the wall down the back straightaway. The caution is out. The points leader with big damage. Yeah. Thanks for that wonderful analysis.
I was trying to look at the other sides of the car. The front, not so bad. He got a little bit of a scuff from road. It's really the rear end where he got a majority of that. I think it was from the contact with the 31.
Yeah, he just caught the apron right there. He just got turned around. Alex Bell, nowhere to go.
Bell gave him the majority of that rear end contact. Wow, Stravato.
And Rodas got a big piece of that. That's still concrete down there. No safer barrier on that side of the racetrack. We're going to take this opportunity. We just had another yellow. We're going to go to break real quick. Just to take a breath for a second. We'll be right back in just a moment. A glen is defined as a narrow valley. For decades, a small town at the south end of Seneca Lake in New York State sat quietly next to a spectacular geological formation, giving the town the name Watkins Glen. Quiet this town stays, except for a few weekends a year. A few miles up the road, there's a racetrack with international fame. It's hosted Formula One, IndyCar, NASCAR, IMSA, Grand Am, and SCCA races. And this track bears the same name as the town, which hosted street races decades before. Watkins Glen International is one of the great American road courses, built in a time when pavement was just laid on top of the land. It follows the natural flow, climbing steep inclines, dropping down into valleys, and streaking across the Finger Lakes region countryside. It's changed a bit since its construction in the 1950s, with the relocation of the start line and pit road, and the addition of 2 new sections, the Boot in 1971 and the Inner Loop in 1992. Since then, it's become an American motorsports icon. Known for its high speeds and narrow S's, it was referred to as the superspeedway of road courses by many drivers. Its sky blue Omco walls have become a symbol of this place. Over the years, Watkins Glen has seen safety improvements, including asphalt runoff in several corners, relocating some walls, and adding curbing. In the 2015 off-season, it was repaved, making it smoother and even faster. But like the valley for which it is named, it remains a challenge for every driver who pulls out on course. For the people who cherish these hallowed grounds, it's not just a Glen, it's the Glen. Watkins Glen. Welcome back live to SimTV and the Outsider Racing League, round number 9 from Richmond Raceway. We're working over well, you're still laughing over there for my cheesy jokes during the break. No behind the stream tonight, sorry about that. Frankly, I'm just out of energy, and I'm putting on my hardest, no, reword. I'm using all the energy I have left in my body just to get through the stream. I'm gonna go collapse. Okay, that's also not great wording. I'm a little giddy right now. I'm tingling all over the place. I'm tired. My eyeballs I think are burning. My retinas from looking at the screens all day. So I've been streaming since 4 o'clock this afternoon. So bear with me if I'm a little bit silly. So restart will be about a third of the way through this race. Jeff Wright continues to hang on to the lead after taking a 2-tire. Nope, I lied. 2-tire stop on the last caution. Everyone had stayed out up front under this yellow.
Inevitably missing Golly after he spun and brought out that caution after clipping the apron way far back down in the field. He's got a long night ahead of him. As Wright leads us back to the restart. Here we go. Green flag back in the air here at Richmond.
Lap 61, turn him loose. Alex Bell took a look 3 wide, but I don't think he's going to try that move as we head down into turn number 1. Let's get single file and go racing. Look who's here.
Yep, Connor Horn making his way to the front, trying to get past Zach Carr on the outside.
And Horn's going to go through to second. And where's Yusuf Golly in all of this? The 54 car is buried back in 27th spot. And look at the traffic that he has in front of him. This is wild stuff. Not a place you want to be.
No, definitely not. He's got to work through it patiently, or not, as he tried to make a dive up the inside of Gap.
I don't know if Yusuf Golly knows the word patience. I think he just goes.
Definitely going to need something. He's going to take a massive hit in points.
I just feel like race car drivers don't really have the word patience in their vocabulary. It's either go or I quit. There's no, I'm going to take my time.
Here's a driver that's ready to go through. Connor Horn been trying to get up to the front.
Take a shot every time you hear this guy's name.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, it's hard not to talk about.
You'd already be drunk and on the floor by this point.
It's hard not to talk about him because it started in 24th, is up into second.
So Jeff Wright again having internet issues, and this was a topic of discussion a couple weeks ago when we went to Kansas. It actually triggered a large multi-car accident, and I'm curious to see if this will persist and become a problem. I don't think it's as big of a deal tonight as it was at Kansas. We were kind of pack racing, but it's still a concern and a distraction for trailing drivers.
Yeah, it hasn't been that terribly bad, but also hasn't been great either. As you say that, you just flash this off for 2. And I think Elliot Butler also in the background got a piece of the wall.
Elliot Butler's been getting a piece of the wall all night long at the exit of turn 2. You should just order the whole thing next time. Huh? Down to the inside goes Jacob Plank. That was a really good joke. You gotta give it. Come on! That was a good joke. Yeah. I cried. A little bit deeper in the field, a couple battles. How about the 21? This is a great looking paint scheme. Holy cow. That's the 21 of Eddie Trejo, the Quaker State car.
That's awesome.
Side note, someone was wondering in the forums. There was the Skip Barber has the Quaker State logo on the roll hoop. And someone was asking in the forums why the Skip Barber car had a Quiznos logo on it. And I had to explain that it was not a Quiznos logo, it's Quaker State Motor Oil. But upon realizing the similarities between those two logos, it's actually pretty easy to understand why.
Every time you get a Skip Barber, you get a Quiznos sandwich.
I mean, for the price of one of those things, I better be getting more than just a sandwich. But at the front of the field, second place now, Connor Horn and Zach Carr. Pretty even lap times at the moment. Behind him, Michael Sturgill having a really solid night in 4th at the moment.
I just want to check to how Sturgill has done the rest of this. His highest finish the rest of the season was 4th at Rockingham, but his next highest finish was 18th. So it's not been a good season for the 90, but looking to have a really solid run here tonight and keep it up. Looking also back at Banks, he's kind of been hanging out here inside the top 10. Hasn't really got a whole lot. I think if anything, he's actually drifted far a little bit back. Start up in 4th place. Now back in 8th, he's got Jacob Plankin behind the 38.
Connor Horn has caught Jeff Wright. Battle for the lead, 110 laps to go. He's going to take a look down into turn 1 here, up the inside.
Yeah, I think might try to scare him. And these guys are teammates, so I imagine they're going to take it relatively easy to the point where I don't think they're going to be wrecking each other. But I'm curious if they might try to work something out here because Zach Carr right in behind. It's a 3-way battle.
Putting the pressure on, a bit of a back to 4th place Michael Sturgill as he's front 3.
And actually Bowers to the inside of Sturgill trying to take that spot away.
Drag race down the backstretch. Camaro versus Camry, and as expected, the Camaro will win that fight.
Eli
Which one's more affordable, though? That's a different story.
yeah, that is. But Eli Hinton running in behind the 90. Also, how about Bowers? He's having a really good run. You know, typically you see him start on the front, he starts to drift on back, but he's been working his way back to the front after being in inopportune restart position, so he's trying to catch back up to the leaders.
Another note about Eli Hinton here, who started 5th, run 6th at this time. He was a champion a couple seasons ago, and he's kind of run a part-time schedule this season for Sim Motorsports, but we have not seen the dominant performance out of this kid as we did when he won the championship a couple seasons ago. So I have to wonder if the level of competition has increased that much, or if Eli Hinton is just a little bit out of practice with this particular group of drivers. Because we have not really seen him. Obviously, he was running really strong at Bristol and ended up getting crashed out of that early. But I don't think we've quite seen the pace out of this 5 car, especially in qualifying, as we would typically expect.
Yeah, I feel like it might have, you know, a little bit to do with both factors of that. I mean, his highest finish was 3rd at Darlington.
That's not bad.
Yeah, but at Bristol, we saw him struggle with a wreck, and then also Kansas, his other start, finished back in 38 after getting wrecked out early.
Bailey Turner's move here at the exit of turn 2. Off into 3, bit of a checkup for the 15. It slows up Calusa, and look at Turner just going to sail it down into turn 3 up the inside of Calusa.
No question to ask from the 24. Aggressive move. Going to get a 1 spot. Now it's going to get another to the inside of Alex Bell.
And he's been spending most of his day moving forward. He's kind of put himself back with some pit stops as we go back to the lead because that car is knocking on the door for 2nd. But these 3 are kind of running tit for tat right now. 1, 2, 3. And Brendan Bowers is running quicker than most of them at this time, so they're going to be a 4-car fight here shortly.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, you know, potentially letting Connor Horn get to the front, because definitely you see between the 3 and the 48, the 3 is the faster car. So, speaking of cars, that car waiting right in behind.
Transition, that's how you do it.
I should have done journalism.
Whoa, how about this battle for 5th? Eli Hinton and Joshua Banks side by side into turn 3.
Banks trying to work his way to the inside of Hinton. Going to get the spot.
Hinton working the wheel, got down to the apron, hooking the tire, like we saw the 54 of Yusuf Golly doing earlier.
Banks is solid climb forward. Last time we were looking at him, he was running in 8th, now up to 5th. Got past that train of cars there, Cabot, and also Sturgill at the end of it. There's Plank now looking to the inside of Sturgill. And
really solid racing, what we're seeing right now. I think the inside line definitely seems like the place to be. But passes are getting done with kind of big dives into the corner.
You're going to have to be aggressive, yeah. Right. You're going to have to earn it as well.
There's no passive drivers moving forward right now. We've seen all who we'd expect to move forward. Bowers continues to close the gap, was the quickest driver in the top 5 yet again. Now closed right to the tailpipes of the 27, about 3/10 back. Make it 4/10 as they exit turn 4.
Single file for fields are working there. You're also noticing too that these guys are also kind of getting bunched up in packs as well. You see groups of drivers come on by.
Restrictor plate racing at Richmond, let's do it.
Especially behind Licata's there, you see a big group. So Eddie Trail is looking like he's going to make a move to the inside of the 97, I believe.
That's Sam Devontier or Devontier. We're going to get corrected.
Devontier, I don't know.
Devontier would be way cooler. Devon or Sam, if you're watching this later, you're Australia.
Yeah.
Wow.
There?
I respect you for your opinion on what your name should be. But it should be Devontier because it sounds like Carpentier, and that's just a cooler name.
Oh, it's like afternoon.
Oh, other side of the planet. Well, he's running. They got the 4 wheels on the ground, so caution is out. The Tony Woodside has 4 wheels off in the runoff area at the exit of turn 2, and this is one of the new drivers tonight. Started his night in 18th and drops to 28th with this spin as the caution comes out on lap number 84.
Probably running maybe around that position of 18th when this happened. Unfortunately, going to drop down quite a bit.
Might have been just a spin. Might have had some help from Ronis on corner exit turns him around. And on board with the 11 to see what he saw.
Came down close the gap.
Just again, I'm not going to bother assigning blame there because either way I'm going to be wrong. It's one of those incidents where kind of both people were
racing distance. Yeah. Racing distance, racing incident.
So, lap 85 we've had so far. We're going to kind of recap some things for you so far. Lead changes, 8 of them so far, which is more than I thought we had. And we've had 6 cautions so far, and the fastest lap right now by Yusuf Golly, who is mired still back in 18th spot as we pick up our 6th caution of the night.
He has made some decent progress for it because he restarted back in 27th, so gained quite a few spots. We see Horn getting to the pit stop, start all the way back in the field. Now everyone else getting, or at least the rest of our leaders getting to their pit stalls. Ooh, Bowers through his stall.
Yeah, that's going to be costly. He'll lose at least a spot there, but he did have a bit of a gap on the 5th place car before he came into the box. So Yusuf Golly slots himself in. If I'm Golly, I try a 2-tire stop here, get some track position.
Yeah, honestly, just to kind of get yourself back up there. Whoa.
Connor Horn easily wins the race off pit lane.
Jeffrey slammed on the brakes there. I think he was trying to line up back in 3rd.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how much good it did him, because Robert Gaba and Brian Chambliss are on track in front. But it looks like if those two come back in, then that'll work out nicely for him. I'm not convinced. Well, it looks like Gaba did come on down, but Chambliss is still out on track. So that's going to totally mess up that strategy for Jeff Wright, if that's the case.
Yeah. That's the unfortunate thing, too, because, you know, if these guys had spotters, you can get that information and know ahead. Otherwise, for Wright, he was just kind of assuming everyone was going to come on down, which unfortunately in this case was not correct, because Chambliss is going to stay out and Wright's going to be lined up on the outside lane now.
Well, let's see where we all cycle out. We're just shy of 90 laps to go in Outsider Racing League round number 9 from Richmond Raceway. Upcoming streams, looks like Chambliss is going to hit pit lane here. So, upcoming streams tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock Eastern on the GT World YouTube channel, Twitch, and the World Challenge America Facebook page will be the GT Rivals Assetto Corsa Competizione Championship that I will be commentating alongside SRO America's Ryan Marine. But he'll be behind the scenes helping me out, but that'll be live 3 p.m. tomorrow. Then we've got 3-wide action on the 9:40 time slot tomorrow.
Really looking forward to Paul Ricard. That race is actually surprisingly good, the test race we did.
Yeah, we did that about 3 weeks ago now, and that was a test race for the GT Rivals
format. That was exciting to watch.
It was a really exciting race.
Considering it's Paul Ricard.
Yeah, we did have some lap traffic incidents there, though. Kent Cook was one of the drivers that kind of had to deal with some of that, so we'll see if he can recover. He's got a couple penalties to start off the season at WeatherTech Race with Laguna Seca and at Mazzano, so looking to rebound and get a finish where he belongs to finish this season, or this weekend. So Monday we got Erska from, I think they're at Chicago this week? I don't remember off the top of my head, but Tuesday we've got Grid Life iRacers from Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course and Fuel. They head to Watkins Glen, and I am very sad I'm going to miss that, but I will give you my nice intro video to play, if you would, that everyone saw during the break. I'm going to blow the socks off everyone that hasn't seen that yet. Like, comment, subscribe!
Yeah, I think we'll enjoy that.
Again, I'm trying to kind of build up an arsenal of those things to use, so every broadcast has something like that. Again, upping production quality is always something I'm trying to do. The problem is I can't do it custom for every single race, but if I have a nice little trailer for each track, that's something I'm kind of working towards. Right now I'm only doing it for special races, kind of like I do with the track maps. Really the special events and the American road courses are kind of the ones that get priority. But as things kind of evolve, we're trying to constantly keep up with everybody else. So, green flag going to fly once again at lap number 90 with 91 laps to go. Halfway in a lap, look at Eli Hinton to the bottom of the racetrack as they come to the start finish.
Jeff Wright before restart for him. Here we go, 3 wide into turn 1. Hinton looking up the inside, clipped the apron a little bit. Banks wasn't able to capitalize on the outside lane. Wright still going to hold the position and actually stay ahead of Hinton.
Into turn 3, everyone charging in deep, and cautions breed cautions, as Larry Mack would say, and this is going to get really dicey. The 48 pulling over driver's left. Eli Hinton shooting the middle, Banks up top, and they simmer back down to double wide before they get to turn 1.
And Wright got with a really shallow entry into one, almost got into the 36, and Banks going to still keep into that inside lane, trying to defend for that 3rd place spot.
For now, he has it. Banks struggling to get on by on the outside lane. Brandon Bowers, who slid through his box in the caution sequence, is now back to 6th.
And that cost him dearly here. He would have been a little bit higher up on the restart order, would have had less cars to work back past. But we definitely see this third one's been doing pretty well working past some traffic.
Now the question becomes, can anyone keep up with Connor Horn? Looks like Zach Carr is doing a pretty good job right now. But this is where, for Brandon Bowers, I'm a little bit concerned because like we said, he always qualifies really well and struggles in the second half of the race. I'm hoping that this isn't where things start to go downhill for him. If he can get back up into the top 3, he'll be okay. But right now he's losing spots and losing them quickly.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is really, I think, due to just him being stuck on that outside lane. He's trying to fight with Sturgill to at least keep that spot, but now he's actually, Sturgill's going to get on by. Now he's going to be fighting with Plank in the 38 for 7th place.
Eli Hinton trying to get on by in the 36 of Joshua Banks. They've had some run-ins before, and side by side on the exit at 2, drag race down the backstretch. Look at the 77. Gonna maybe take him 3 wide. No, he'll think better.
Banks trying to pinch also to make sure the guys in the inside lane don't bully him out of line. Actually, he's gonna get himself in line in behind 5.
Now the 77 under attack from Michael Sturgill. And he puts the power down, kind of skid steers off the corner. That skid steer loader as they roll through 3 and 4. I hope people get that reference later, but
probably not.
If I know it, someone else knows it. That skid steer loader. Sturgill. Whoa! Big slide for Sturgill at the exit at 2. Here comes Plank up the middle. He'll back out and let Sturgill collect himself.
Oh, actually, no. He's going to try to get a good run back off the corner, but can't really capitalize on Sturgill's mistake and is still standing behind the 98th.
Haley Turner, who started this race back in 13th spot, making his way up to 9th again. I'm really confident that he'll move his way inside the top 5 later in this race, but he's been taking his time, staying out of trouble, taking a couple big dives here and there, but for the most part been taking his time, and for Turner, it's been working out for him. Back up at the front of the field, it's a 2-car race right now. Horn and Carr driving away from 3rd place Jeff Wright.
Really amazing gap that they've expanded out between 2nd and 3rd place, pretty much in a world of their own. There you see the rest of the top 5 moving on past.
And the car recovering is Skylar Shackelford in the 88. Remember, he spun at the exit at turn 2 earlier in the race. I believe it was off the bumper of AJ Stravado.
Yes.
That was one of our first cautions of the night. And Shackelford had a really impressive first round at Kansas Speedway. Didn't get the finish he deserved after getting caught in a wreck late in the race, but starts 25th and runs 13th right now.
Working on past Clues, and Clues has had his own problems. Actually, I think was also hit by Stravado.
Bowers and Turner getting together there for a minute. Yeah, and the 20 car, went off the bumper of Stravado, so those 2 cars have kind of found themselves in 12th and 14th, but Calusa got in the fence out of turn 4 last time by. Here comes Tim Downey Jr. up the inside in the 25. And that's the reigning champion.
Yeah, it's been a quiet night for Tim Downey Jr. Been kind of sitting in the mid-teens.
Well, he's a late July car, and it's only about late April right now.
I was going to say, well, if he waits for July, the season's going to be over. Almost over.
There's some sponsor activation for the 25 car. I also wanted to mention the right front suspension. This is on the 25 car. Been keeping your eye on this on a couple different drivers. You see that the heat already getting generated in these right front brake rotors. Caution on the racetrack right in front of Tim Downey Jr. Yeah. And it looks like it's the 31 and the 38. And also the 20 car Calusa gets caught up in.
Yeah, interesting. So I think this happened ahead of Bowers. I don't know if he necessarily caused it. I think there was a car in between him and Plank. Could have been that Bowers hit the 38.
Saying about how things were kind of slipping through his fingers. Here's the look. Sturgill and the 38 of Jacob Plank. Be a bit of a checkup here, and Bowers going to get in here and tag the 38, send him around. And Calusa had nowhere to go. Off into the corner here, and you're going to see the 31 getting a little bit deep. We've seen a couple drivers do this. They have that 3/4 of a lane, and they just go for it.
Well,
and it's not enough.
Well, actually, this is going to need more context. Look up ahead with this all actually started with, I think, the 90 checking up on the back of the 77 of Cabot. When he dives in hot, he starts to check
right
up,
there,
and everyone else in behind stacks up as well.
AC Lakatos had a face full of Bailey Turner, whose pristine car got a little crinkled up there in the left rear quarter panel, but that shouldn't affect him performance-wise. Lakatos' car looks fine as well. So pit stops underway for the race leaders, and Zach Carr is on down, so is Connor Horn. We'll re-rack him, restack him for just about 25 minutes of racing left when we go back green. It'll be about lap 107, 108 when we finally get the green flag back in the air. There's Horn, and it looks like Carr might meet him off pit lane. No.
John Horn going to win the race off of pit road. It's going to be Zach Carr in second. Jeff Wright
Whoa, there they go. There goes
oh.
car on by. That looked very scary for a moment, but I'm a little uneasily afraid. It's time. I just thought I would share that with you.
Interesting you've been afraid of, but
you know what? Some people are afraid of spiders. I'm afraid of contact leaving pit road. That's There's Bryce Calusa and AJ Stravado getting back on course.
apparently. Yeah, well,
That was like some Lightning McQueen
yeah, I was
stunt
gonna
right
say.
there.
I don't know. I think I heard them. Strada didn't. I think Calusa was able to beat the pace car.
Hit the pace car?
Yeah. Fortunately, Strada didn't watch cars. He didn't win the race on pit road.
You need tires, you idiot! I'm a one-man show. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But AJ Stravado in the 33 car will go one lap down, drop to the tail of the field for the restart. I gotta say, Car Racing Designs sounds like the most generic company name ever.
Yeah, it really does.
But you put it in context, and it's actually quite creative.
What's cool is that my former teammate from last season in Einhard, his last name is Graf. It's his
Graph
design.
X?
Yeah,
That's so cool.
His company
Just Graph X?
graphics, like with an X.
That's so cool.
I'll show you.
That's so cool. I always wish it came up with a cool name. SimTV is, I guess we won't get into it.
Stop with it now.
Yep. Now we're really starting. Now we have shirts
Yeah.
that you can actually don't buy them right now. We have no way to get them. We have a merch store on simtvbroadcasting.com/store, but we can't produce anything right now because of the current situation. So please don't order. It will take you months before you'll probably get it. So let's not do that. So coming to the restart, it'll be lap number 108, like I suspected, as the lights on the pace car extinguish again. That's pretty cool. What's his name, Joe?
Yeah, Tyler Graf.
I'm thinking the NASCAR driver, Joe Graf. So we're going to turn him back loose at lap number 108. It's just about 73 laps to go.
Yeah.
Right, math is good. Head off into turn 3. Zach Carr leads this race. Well, actually, he's going to restart in second. Connor Horn is currently... No, Carr is the leader. As we roll out of turn number 4. Lap number 108 at Richmond. Green flag back in the air. Eli Hinton wants a piece of this to the outside. He goes on the 48 car of Jeff Wright.
Oh, but Connor Horton's going to definitely want the lead. He got a great run off.
Oh, back around the points leader hard in the fence. That's a vicious accident. And Yusuf Golly's night is likely over.
I don't think it's over, but he's definitely not going to get a solid finish. I think, if anything, he's going to just be out there points racing, but that's going to suck.
And how much was he leading him before we came into the night?
2 points over.
Oh, that's already he was in a bad spot, but this is going to kind of put the nail in the final coffin for the 54 of Yusuf Golly. Please understand that reference. That was a good one as well. So the 54, that's concrete there. Where was the contact? Bit of a checkup with Alex Bell. He just gets loose and gets tapped from the 97. Nothing that
so
Sam did
on
wrong.
both occasions that he had a spin off too. It's kind of his own volition, so that's unfortunate.
Yeah. With that, we're all going to jump to break one more time with this quickie yellow. We'll be back with you for the restart here in just a minute. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Going back to the restart, lap number 114 of 180. Just had a caution for the 54 of Yusuf Golly getting turned around at the exit of turn number 2 for the second time tonight. He's still, well, he's done. He's out of the race tonight, back in 32nd. That's going to be a huge hit in the points for him.
Yeah.
As we are getting, kind of towards the latter half of the season.
He'll definitely make it into the chase.
Oh, no worries there at all.
Yeah, but you still want to keep it close, and especially just keep it in there. But we're just going to lose a lot of points tonight. Meanwhile, Carr, his main competitor, is going to lead the field back to green here, coming to lap 114.
Connor Horn having to deal with Jeff Wright for second place.
If I'm not mistaken, I don't think Connor Horn's led a lap today. He's gotten really close. He's been in second and third for quite a bit, but has not tasted the lead. Here comes Jeff Wright up the inside, trying to put Connor Horn back into third. Ooh, Horn a little bit of a slip up into turn 1. Gonna cost him the spot.
And now he's got Eli Hinton on the inside, kind of a thorn in the side. And Joshua Banks ready to follow on through. I'm a little bit surprised to see the top line hasn't come in at all. It still seems very bottom heavy right now as we head across the front straightaway. A little bit deeper in the field. There's Eddie Trejo and Elliot Butler. This is for 20th.
Well, he's not had a particularly great day either for the 31 of Bowers. Involved in that last caution, put him back in the field, so he's just trying to recover as many spots as possible. Or likely damage.
It shouldn't be a big issue with the damage. It's just the track position that he lost now is crucial. There's Alex Bell in the number 15 car. He's had some solid runs this season, especially at the road courses.
They're currently sitting 5th in the points, so it's been got a lick of the wall, and here comes Tim Downey up the inside.
It was real tight through 3 and 4. Didn't give the 25 a lot of room, but Tim will head on through and likely complete this pass, and he will. So Zach Carr leads this race by 0.6 of a second over Jeff Wright. Connor Horn back in third, then Hinton, Banks, Sturgill, Cabot, Shackelford is now inside the top 10. Again, we were so impressed with him at Kansas before the accident, and here he is from 25th to 8th and just continues to impress after being so new to this series.
Still showing some really good pace in the 88. She has a chance to gain a few more spots. He's got Adam Cabot and Sturgill up ahead, 7th and 6th.
It's got the Cold Air Inductions livery on that car tonight. Good looking race car, kind of that bright cyan blue. As Eli Hinton and Joshua Banks now fighting for 4th. Banks to the inside.
Hinton up the hill a little bit. Let's open the door for Banks on exit.
Drag race down the back.
Banks sending it really deep into the corner, but I noticed Hinton's been prioritizing the exit a little bit better. Not so much off the 4.
Wiggle and a wobble, 60 laps to go. Or Zach Carr as your leader. And now Hinton's going to lose a spot to the 36 car rather, and Sturgill comes up the inside now.
Sturgill very consistent run in that 90 machine. It's been hovering around that 5th place spot all night long. It's not really dropped out of the top 10, I think, either this entire run.
It's had a really solid night. Hinton's going to cross over, and he turns him down into turn 1. Can he save it? Wow, what a drive! Oh man, that's gonna get dicey.
For now, here comes Adam Cabot up the inside in the 77.
Cabot cut him a huge break there in 3 and 4. We gotta go back and take a look at that. I'm not sure I want to pull away quite yet though. Right now I think we can. Go back and take a look. It was last lap down into turn number 1. And here's a look at it. They came down the front straightaway. Hinton's gonna cross him up. Head down into the first corner and just watch the hands inside this car as Sturgill gets a little bit of contact. You see the mirror all the way on the left side of your screen. Eli Hinton back there. Look at the hands. Full crank to the right, and he saves it. back to the left and pinches the 5 car to show a little displeasure as they just squeeze on through. Great racing, good slide, good recovery for the 90 of Sturgill.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse, and still going to continue on in 6th, and even did a great job defending from the 77 of Cat, who is looking at getting a spot. Keeps Lakatos from 23rd all the way up to 10th.
How about this? This is a really solid night for Casey Lakatos, and he's kind of played the pit strategy game a little bit as well. But he's been getting some really solid races lately, I have to say. Taking a look at his last couple finishes, where we are.
Texas here ran pretty well. Kansas was running pretty well, and then had some.
At the very end, had an issue.
He was running almost, I think, in 5th at one point at Kansas. So.
Had a top 10 at Bristol as well. Had 11th at Daytona. So it's been a much better season for Lakatos this season than last. Runs in 10th right now after starting in 23rd. That car continues to drive away from Connor Horn, but Horn is through Jeff Wright for second. So with just over 50 laps to go now, we've got the 2 heavy hitters of the night, first and second.
Yeah, and I'm really interested in seeing if Connor Horn can get back to Carr and then also make the pass. I think he might be able to catch back up to the 27. As far as making that pass for the lead, I don't think he's going to be able to do it. I think Carr might have him in that department, but we'll have to see. Also, how about Banks, too, in 4th? He's got up to these guys in the front. He can be a major factor in the by the end of this race.
I think it's time for a Sim TV sound surge. Let's crank it up and let's hear the motors. About 45 laps to go here from Richmond Raceway and outside of Racing League, round number 9. At the front of the field, Zach Carr leads, but Connor Horn is closing in. Half a second gap now, Finian.
Yeah, he's been making up a few hundredths of a second last few laps. He's been slowly closing in to Zach Carr. And so talking about, considering how similar they are in pace, it's telling me that even if Connor Horn does get to Zach Carr, I don't necessarily think he's got the raw pace to get past 27. He might have to get a little bit physical. Or at least, just hope that the 27 makes a mistake.
It's not abnormal for the 3 car to get physical. Remember, it was a long time ago, actually, but at this racetrack, the infamous interview with Connor Horn, after the I think it was Jeremiah Vincent had the incident down in turns 1 and 2.
Yeah. It was Jeremiah and Josiah.
And after that race, it was Connor Horn that said post-race that he knows that he's better than everybody else and that he was going to go out there and do what needed to be done. And that was a while ago. I feel like Connor's changed quite a bit since then, and has gained the mutual respect of a lot of his peers out here and just by really just running well and consistently running well. And I think that's kind of gets you respect around here. To the inside goes Brendan Bowers, moving his way back forward. And this is a new Brendan Bowers.
Yeah.
He's recovering from what happened earlier. I'm not sure that it's going to be a top 5 night, but it might be a top 10 night. Passing Bailey Turner is not an easy task, and I think this is a sign that Brendan Bowers has got something figured out, because now he's able to recover from his incident earlier this evening.
Yeah, it's been a very poor string of finishes for the 31 car. His last finish inside the top 10 was all the way back at Watkins Glen in February, so it's been quite a while since he's made it.
It's been that long?
Yeah, it's been a while since he's got a top 10. That was his only top 10 finish this season, so looking to try to repeat that, get another top 10 tonight. Even though you had a chance at a solid top 5, but this will be pretty solid, all things considered. I think he's probably going to be hoping for a caution to have another chance of getting some more spots. And even think Connor Horn might go for a caution too, just to get these guys back on some more equal footing.
So look at Connor Horn's best lap was a 21.3. He just ran a 22.1. And for Zach Carr, he just ran a 22.1 as well, but the advantage was still to Connor Horn by about 0.02 of a second. Look at how much he gains in 3 and 4. Right up to the rear tailpipes of the 27.
Quite a bit this lap. Come across the line, yeah, almost a 10th faster for Connor Horn. He's been, I think, found a little bit of something new at our car's been. I've noticed he's been running a little bit of a lane up, and I think he's been trying to prioritize exit, but Horn's been beating him on entry by such a big margin that he's been gaining.
Lovely view from the back here of Zach Carr as they exit turn number 4. The gold glinting in the sunlight as we come to 39 laps to go now from Richmond. Time is ticking down. We only have about 30 minutes of racing left, so... Okay, all right. I know what the joke you're about to make. The time isn't actually ticking because the server's broken and it hasn't changed a minute. But we're running out of laps, is what I should say. Also, this is the fastest race in history. All the laps right now are happening instantaneously. Which, that's an average speed of, I think, Mach 89,000.
No, brake physics.
Goodyear tires, you got a lot of grip nowadays. For the lead, here comes Connor Horn up the inside. Battle for the top spot, less than 40 laps to go from Richmond. Here he comes up the inside.
Amazing that he was able to get such a good run to the inside of the car. Car didn't do a better job defending, but here comes the 3 to the inside. This is what I was talking about really, for the 27 to make a mistake, open up that door. Still side by side through 3 and 4.
Yeah, and Carr's best defense is just to run this upper line, but we haven't seen really a lot of people try it, and there's not a lot of rubber up there.
He's got to pinch the 3 right there.
Oh, contact! They touch!
Had to get a little physical, and that got him the lead.
And look who's brought it into the fight. Jeff Wright is now a couple tenths back from second place Zach Carr. I'm not sure if this is totally over yet.
It might be. I don't think the 27's really got anything for the 3.
Well, let's keep an eye on the lap times, because last time through, Connor Horn ran a 23.341. Jeff Wright was a 22.304. So quicker still for the 48.
Red's been struggling. Oh, he actually got a decent exit off the corner. That's where he's really been better, as you see the 3 work past.
96 car, yes. Houghton, I believe that is. Yep, Michael Houghton. He's 2 laps down with some damage. Jeff Wright a little bit held up there on corner exit, but Connor now needs to stretch this gap out. Just over 30 laps to go, 12 minutes of racing left. Deeper in the field, Casey Lacanis a little sideways inside the top 10, but now has Bailey Turner closing back in.
Oh, we're missing a car, and his name is Brandon Bowers. He's back in 31st, 3 laps down.
On pit lane here, and I see some right side damage that wasn't there before, maybe?
Jesus? No, the rear damage was there. I think the right side damage I think is new. Yeah, to the front.
Now he's got tires going up, so that race is going to be effectively over for the 31. That's a big disappointment. For second, though, not done yet, because Jeff Wright's come on through, and even passing Zach Carr, still ran a better lap than Connor Horn.
Interesting to see Jeff Wright, and we have not seen this 48 car have a good performance in a very long time. It's been quite abnormal. He's all the way back, and granted he has missed 2 races, but he's all the way back in 15th in the points, so it's not been a particularly good run this season for Jeff Wright.
No, it hasn't, but he is closing another 600th game. He's just creeping into the shot. And Horn's got some lap traffic to deal with as well. 30 laps to go this time through.
for Jeff Wright, last time he was in victory lane was at Sonoma in November.
Wow, that's been a long time. And for the lead, Connor Horn, like I said, got some lap traffic to deal with, but he has maybe a bigger problem in the rearview mirror.
These guys are teammates for Dark Smoke Racing, so I'm curious how aggressive this is going to get.
Well, we know Jeff Wright's hungry. It's been a long time. Right on the rear tailpipes of that GM Performance Parts car. Through 3 and 4.
Getting a really good exit, much better than the 3. Going to actually be able to have a look at the inside.
Now Connor Horn having internet problems. They're kind of trading it back and forth tonight.
There we go. There's Wright up the inside to the 3, although Horn's going to get a much better exit off the corner than Wright.
I'm not sure it matters. The 48 still should have a lunge down into 3 here. He'll back out, though. Horn drove in a little bit deep. That's going to sacrifice his exit. Now Jeff Wright's going to have a run here. Not quite. Bit of a bobble by the 3. And to tighten up the exit because of the 30 of Jeremy Miller.
They'll make their way on through Wright, trying to get a better exit off the corner. Dime in the corner a little bit off of 2.
That car is waiting in the wings that the teammates collide.
You can't wait in the wings for too long because he's got 36 of Joshua Banks breathing down his neck.
Quite intimate, really. Breathing down the neck thing. I've always thought that was kind of a funny saying. I mean, it depends on who is breathing on your neck, I guess. If it's the clown from, what's that movie, Up?
Up is the Pixar film.
Oh, that's not the right one. Oops.
Ooh, right, getting to the back of Connor Horn, almost giving him a little bit of a bump.
Off into turn. Wow, there's someone Harry Pottering around behind him.
Yeah, both these guys have been trading. You're right with them trading their internet problems back and forth. I was surprised to see Connor Horn flash. That was the first time we saw him flash all night. Right when he's been consistently having issues, as I say that, he's going to blink out yet again.
So with that distraction, though, Jeff Wright might find this a little bit more challenging to work through the traffic here with that distraction in front of him. There's Caleb Weekly up top.
Trying to get a good run back to the inside of Connor Horn, but hasn't really been able to get that chance since he had it last time. Really, the last opportunity was the best shot he had at taking the lead.
48, a bit of a bobble on the straightaway, actually. And while this has been going on, Dak Carr and Joshua Banks have slowly been closing that gap to the leaders.
Yeah, I'm not sure this is just them working through lap traffic better than the leader, or if they've just been making it up on pace. But the leaders starting to converge on each other here in the later parts of this race. Whoa!
Oh, that's the 94 car.
Oh, that's going to make Connor go the long way around. Right, got a better lane.
That is giving it on a golden platter for the 48, but wasn't able to take advantage of it. Next time by will be 20 laps to go. The ticker will start counting down, and so will Jeff Wright's chances.
And Connor had a little bit of a bobble down into turn 1. Been noticing Connor Horn back into sliding quite a bit, not only at entry, but also on exit as well. Move right.
Wow, he's powering down using every bit of that rear tire. But now, this is as important as ever to have some rear tire left, so don't burn it off here.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's got some time to work with here, and Connor Horn's definitely, his rear tires are wearing out, so if anything, keep mounting the pressure and don't wear out your own stuff.
Oh, big dive into 3. $19 laps to go. And Jeff Wright's been patient, but now the patience is going to start running out.
Got a really poor entry into turn 1. It's going to cost him through turns 1 and 2. Running a half a lane up, trying to get a better run off the corner than the 3, but he's not been getting those good runs anymore. He's been kind of equaling with the 3 off the corner, so he's not been able to really gain back on Connor Horn.
And again, Jeff Wright dealing with connectivity problems as he has all night long. I think they traded it back. Sharing the internet cord tonight, I think. 17 to go. I'm just wondering if Wright's been using all his rear tire to just keep up with the 3. A bit of a slide, lateral slide into turn 1. He's going to run up the racetrack a little bit, but look at the exit he's getting. Diamonding, as you said earlier, trying to get that run off.
He's been constantly trying to do it. It just hasn't been as successful as his first attempt was.
Bottling back up now, 16 to go.
They've actually expanded the gap out between second and third, so it's effectively these two again. Carr and Banks have drifted further on back.
And the focus inside this 48 car right now has to be insane. I mean, you've got every... What are you doing with your mouth?
Oh, sorry.
I'm just trying to... I looked over going, I don't know what you were doing. I'm wondering...
Oh, man,
he's losing that rear tire. He's gone, but look at all the traffic. He's got to stay in it now.
Hard to look at the traffic when you can't even see him.
Well,
but
what you got to do? 15 to go.
Yeah, no, I think his tires are kind of dead now. We saw him slide for a little bit. He's kind of lost that advantage, though. He's caught back up to the 3 here. But again, he's equal with him, but it's not better.
And here goes a push, baby. The 48, maybe you're going to use the bumper, and the teammates, I think that deal is off now. I think they know that as long as they don't wreck each other, they're both going to finish top 5. Now it just comes down to who wants to win more. I have to say, Jeff Wright probably wants it more at this point. It's been longer since he's been in victory lane than for Connor Horn.
Yeah, you saw there, Wright sliding on the exit, cost him some time. I think he's going to have to get physical at this point. I think it's what it's come down to. He just can't get too carried away with it. Oh, his boss man's going to be...
Race car driver getting carried away? No. No. They got this all under control. They'll make sure that they keep their emotions in check until the very end of the race. But we are running out of laps, and Jeff Wright, I think he's starting to realize this. The heart rate is starting to climb inside this car. Bailey Turner, oh, no, that was just an internet thing. Don't worry about that. Carry on. Jeff Wright's heart rate climbing a little bit as they chase each other down. The 19 is going to force the 3 car wide, and Jeff Wright has to do something about it. But he has to go the long way around as well.
Sproul may give him courtesy and let him on by. No. Next Sproul's actually still going to hold up the...
Oh, man, that's tight through 1 and 2. Next time by, 10 laps to go, as you mentioned, as we head down the back straightaway into turn 3.
Right, hit the wall. That's going to make him go wide into turn 3.
That was a big mistake there for him, but he's going to get a great run on corner exit and throttle up to gain some of that time back. Look at him wheeling this thing.
Yeah, that's kind of the concern here. He's losing his tires when he really needs it the most. Got 2 lap cars up ahead. I believe Laughter and Halpern.
Look at Jeff Wright's day, 26th the second. And for Connor Horn, 24th to 1st. Here they come out of turn number 4, 9 laps to go.
Yeah, we're at a bit of a slip up, but Wright not able to capitalize. Now he's got to deal with with Laughter and Halpern up ahead. They'll give him the lane.
And Jeff Wright is studying this and trying to predict what the traffic's going to make Horn do. And he's going to have to go to the bottom of the racetrack. But how does he... Oh, look at the 26 just sailing it off into turn 3. Do they have to go outside or inside of the 26? It's going to be a crucial pass here. 8 laps to go. Down into turn 1. Wow, I couldn't tell if he laid the bumper to him, to be honest with you, but he exited the corner. Here they come into turn 3.
Whoa!
Oh! The 26 pulls right down in front of the 3 car. Jeff Wright's going to have a spectacular run. Oh, they touched! They turned! And 7 laps to go. Caution is out. Oh, man. Oh, we're going to restart, baby. Yeah. It's all going to go to hell now.
Yeah, that was an interesting turn of events. I'm curious to see what went down on the back straightaway. I have a feeling that might have not been on purpose.
I don't know, but either way, I'm sure that Connor Horn is not thrilled with that, or it might be. I mean, again, on the restart, I think you have a better chance at holding off somebody than someone who's already pressuring your bumper because you get a bit of a jump. But the 26 just was kind of in the way here, and you're allowed to fight for your position. He was on the lead lap, but I mean, you can't blame Connor Horn for wanting to push the issue here. He's got to go. That's a non-issue to me.
I wouldn't say it's a non-issue.
Well,
I mean, he dumped the car ahead of them.
Well, yeah. I'd say the 26.
No mandatory blue flags in NASCAR.
No, but again, I would say that the 26 kind of blocked the 3 there. So at that point, lap down car, you're blocking the leaders, especially when they're battling for the lead. Oh well, I guess is what Connor Horn's going to say. I don't have any opinions because I'm not allowed to. Oh, icy. Racing on pit lane. Yeah, I think you have to come. The box. Will anyone
they're
try?
in pit.
Oh, okay. Well, they're out. Eli Hinton leads the race off pit lane. 2-tire call. I love this strategy.
That was a smart move.
You're not going to win by doing what the leaders do. That's actually going to split up Horn and Wright onto separate rows. And Jeff Wright, I will guess right now that he will take it 3 wide down into turn 1. I'm going to not guess. That's just what's going to happen.
I think it's going to depend on the restart, because you've seen some of the second row, they've been kind of struggling to keep in touch because the way the restart is coming off these corners. If Hinton gasses it up when he needs to, and I'm sure he's going to go as soon as the pace car ducks in. Able to drive away with this.
If you look down at the center of your screen, you see that little yellow path that leads to the black and white brick road.
I know what you're referencing.
The yellow brick road. Okay.
Yeah, where do you see it?
Right in the middle of your screen. I even told you where it was. Right here, the little yellow.
Oh.
That path. Is
garage.
what everyone's fighting. Okay, I give up. Everyone's fighting.
It's to the garage when these guys crash.
I can't even make cool references because you don't even pay attention.
I was paying attention. I'm just confused.
I said in the middle of the screen. You go where? There's not a whole lot in the middle of the screen.
Literally, the line's a pixel wide from what we're looking at.
Well, I can see it just fine. Get your eyes checked.
Yeah. Well, I do wear glasses. You do too.
Well, I have contacts in there.
I don't.
Well, there's your problem.
Well, yeah, I can't really wear glasses. I could, but it's annoying with these guys.
I'm your river. You're fired. All right, well, how about a little, maybe 2 laps to go? It's not technically a green-white checkered, but we have 2 attempts at a green-white checkered if we need it.
This will not be one of them.
Yeah, will not count as a green-white checkered. But Eli Hinton will be scored as your race leader. Then it's Connor Horn, Jeff Wright, Zach Carr, Joshua Banks, Adam Cabot, Shackelford, Turner, Calusa, and Michael Sturgill, the rest of your top 10. Let's double them up. Wave around's getting their wave around. And Hinton's going to choose the bottom of the racetrack, which for Connor Horn is a problem. Now Connor Horn's got to nail this restart. We have not seen anybody really be able to stick on the outside lane yet.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, this is going to be tough. He's going to, definitely not really going to, I don't think he's going to have much for him on the first lap. Once these guys get up to speed on the second lap, though, which would be the white flag lap, I think then it's going to be his chance to, lay a bumper or do something to Eli Hinton. This is definitely going to get interesting here.
All right, 2 laps to go. It's about 1.5 miles for Connor Horn and Eli Hinton. They're going to run side by side of the restart zone. Eli holding back slightly. A great restart, though, for the 3-car of Connor Horn. Jeff Wright does not get a great jump. 2 laps to go from Richmond, and Eli Hinton leads him down into turn 1. But here comes the 48 up the inside for second.
Trying to stick his nose in there, trying to fight with the 3.
Oh, here we go. Oh, crash in the background. Big mess out of turn 2. Are we going to get a yellow?
I don't think we will. They're still straight in the background.
Here we come.
Off of 4, side by side.
Oh. 1 lap to go. Eli slips. The 3 cars through to the lead. Down into turn 2. Here comes the 48. Big slide down into turn 1. The 5 car goes sailing up the racetrack. Here comes car middle 3 wide. But for Connor Horn, a spectacular restart and an incredible defensive strategy on the outside lane. He'll come out of turn number 4 and he'll win round 9 of Outsider Racing League. And there's a crash as they come across the line. 3, 4 cars. So everybody crashed at the line.
Big one at the end at Richmond. And for Connor Horn, though, it's win number 3 of the season for him. Wow. Matching the car number.
What a restart, what a race. We'll have to go back and recap that restart here in just a minute, but he did exactly what he needed to do.
I'm impressed by that. He did a great job. Capitalized on Hinton's mistake off of 4 and just drove away.
Gold glinting in the sunlight, kind of filthy now with all the rubber and debris, but he got it done. Oh! Wow! And there was some displeasure from the 26 car of Zach Halpern. And that stricken car will continue to do burnouts, but the motor itself is now burned out. Well, it's not the first time nor the last time I think anyone's been upset with Connor Horn. But again, going back to that incident, I don't think Connor Horn really did anything wrong there. I'm sorry, but you're racing for the lead. I don't care if you get dumped if you're a lap car. I mean, I know Halpern's racing for his own thing, but he threw a block, and after that, it's on. So Connor Horn, in my eyes, is a free man, a clear man of any wrongdoing, and I think Halpern's got to understand. You throw a block on the leader who's battling to hold that lead. His spot is more important than yours. And
I'm not gonna agree on principle. Like, you should have let him by. That's from a rule standpoint. He absolutely took someone out.
Understandable from that standpoint, but on the principle, that's where I'm speaking from.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's at least the response, I think, is a little bit uncalled for at the end of the race, at least. So here's a look at the race results. Connor Horn, well, his win will stand. Didn't get the revenge before the race was over. So Horn gets the job done. Jeff Wright in second place. Joshua Banks in third. Carr Cabot rolls home with a top 5. Look at Bailey Turner, 6th place for the 5 car. He'll roll back in 7th. That last lap didn't go the way that he needed it to. Bell in 8th. Shackelford comes home in 9th. A solid top 10 for him.
And for Sturgill, too, going to finish, round out your top 10 in 10th.
Yeah, and a couple new drivers tonight having pretty okay finishes. Tony Woodside back in 25th. Got at least finished the race. 1 lap down. The first car 1 lap down. So in just a moment, we're going to cut to break. We're going to bring back your race winner and a couple more. But let's go back before we cut to break. Just wanted to kind of recap that restart as we got the 2 laps to go signal from the race control. Bear with me for one moment as we pull this. For Connor Horn, it was such a good restart. So we're going to head back in just a moment. So here is turns 1 and 2 here for the 3 car. Going to stay right along the outside lane, and he does such a good job here of staying alongside, even got into the wall. And they get to turn 3, and the 5 car slips right here. The 48 maybe, I don't know if he helped him or not.
I think the 5 is struggling with traction because, again, he only took 2 tires compared to Connor Horn's 4. He had the extra traction to work around that outside. I think that's what helped him out.
Yeah, then the 48 slipped up, and that's really what did the 5 car in, sent him all the way to the back. And then I want to watch this as they came out of turn 4. All hell broke loose for the rest of these drivers. Came to the start-finish line right there. The 27 slips, the 36, the 15. Everybody went around. Sturgill slicing and dicing.
All the wreck race cars.
We'll be back in just a few minutes with some interviews. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back live to Sim TV and round number 9 of the Outsider Racing League Championship in 2020. Here now with 7th place finisher Eli Hinton for Sim Motorsports, the number 5 Toyota Camry. Eli kind of threw something at the wall there at the end and hoped it stuck, but not a whole lot was sticking, including the Goodyear tires at the end there. A great restart, but it all went downhill. That white flag lap. Walk us through your restart.
Yeah, I mean, I took 2 tires there, which is really risky. But the left sides were not wearing much this whole race, and I'm not going for points this season. I'm just going for wins, and so I just decided to go for it. There was no way I was going to win on 4 tires unless they just all wrecked. So I went for 2 tires and almost had it, but going on the front stretch, I just got too loose, and then Jeff got inside of me, and at that point it was over. But give it a good run. My best effort, I think I had the win.
Obviously, the track conditions didn't change a lot tonight, so walk me through, the dynamic track. We kind of expected at some point an outside line to form. It never really seemed like it did. So walk me through how you got past this done. Was it all in the bottom of the racetrack tonight, or could you make the outside work?
It was pretty much all in the bottom. It was really weird. Like, the top was better basically everywhere except the exit of 2. And sometimes, basically just the exit of 2. But I don't know, you can only pass the bottom, you couldn't pass the top. even passing on the bottom is hard, so it was interesting. I think if we would have went tonight, it would have been a little bit better, but that's what we had.
That's what you had, a top 10 result, and throwing a Hail Mary there at the end, Eli, but a great idea at the very least, and it almost worked out for you. Congrats on a top 10.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle.
Thanks. We'll move on now to our next driver. It's going to be the third place car, Joshua Banks. And Josh, all night long, you were up inside the top 10, but not quite third or better until the very end, that last restart. Walk us through your perspective coming to the restart with 2 to go.
I was freaking out just because I didn't know what was going to happen. Obviously, didn't know what was going to happen with Eli taking 2, but also with the way the season's gone, I didn't know if bad luck was going to continue or if we were going to have some decent luck and actually get a good finish out of this. So I was fortunate to actually finish this in the top 3, and I am happy about it. I can tell you that right now.
It seemed like some drivers were kind of throwing punches out there. We don't have access to the driver radio, but I'm curious as to how the general consensus was out there tonight in terms of pushing and shoving and cars getting spun. How on edge was everybody tonight? Because it seemed like there was some sparks flying.
I mean, I didn't hear much, but I'm pretty sure there's some heat going on. I mean, people doing some stupid things they shouldn't have been doing or something like that, or just, short track racing, man. I mean, we're going to have tempers here, so it's inevitable.
Well, Joshua Banks stays out of the drama tonight, finishes third place, a great, solid top 5 finish for the 36 Chevy. Thanks, Josh.
All right, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Gonna move on now to our second place finisher, Jeff Wright in the number 48. Had something for the leader, but the 5 car staying out kind of threw the strategy off there. You would have had probably a little bit better shot at the 3 had you lined up right alongside him, Jeff. But walk us through your night and try to chase down your teammate for the win.
Yeah, so to start the night, obviously we didn't get the good qualifying position, so I'm pretty sure we actually started dead last in 37th, but just kind of had to play the strategy. We stayed out on one run. In practice, we could kind of notice the tires. They just really didn't wear a whole lot, especially left, so I stayed out, fell back to 10th, and got a good gain there. Then I decided to take 2 tires, able to hold the lead for a little bit, and then, yeah, that battle with Connor there at the end, that was absolutely crazy. Lap car got in the way, kind of ruined the finish for us, which is big disappointment, but really happy with second. Would have loved to win, but needed a good finish here for some points.
A solid top 5 run for the 48 of Jeff Wright. Jeff, hey, congratulations, and good luck next week. We'll see if you can get one done.
Thanks, Kyle.
Now to our race winner, Connor Horn, in the number 3 car, and it was a couple seasons ago that the conclusion of a Richmond race, the sparks were flying in the post-race discussions, but Connor, tonight, you win the race. It doesn't even matter what happened before that, but I am curious about the incident there with the 26 of Zach Halpern. It looked like he threw a block on you, you turned him around, and post-race, he came back during your burnout. Walk us through that transgression from your point of view.
First off, that was a great run with Jeff to be 1-2 like that. It was a dogfight out there. I was so sideways out of 4 every time, just trying to get the better run, because I knew he was so good out of 4. He was setting me up to 1. The one time he got under me, I was able to clear him into 3 and chop him, but that was going to be such a dogfight to the end. And those lap cars we got to with around 10 to go, I know AJ was courteous to let us by, but I know Sproul, who was blinking the whole time, he almost wrecked both of us. That was scary. And then coming up to Halpern, I don't know. I really didn't. I haven't raced him hard. I haven't done anything to him as far as I know. But we were going under him to lap him, and he just threw a block, and I just got into him. I didn't mean to, but we're racing for a win. I gotta go, and it is what it is. I still got. Luckily, we were still able to come out with the win. I was very scared when Eli took 2 tires, but I got a good run out of 4, which I didn't feel like I was getting that sort of run all race. I got the run out of 4 there, and they kind of all wadded up almost behind me, and I came out with the win, and me and Jeff still got 1 too, so all in all, it was a pretty fun race.
Connor Horn now has a 3 alongside him in the wins column, as well as on the door. Connor, congratulations on your 3rd win of the season, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you, Kyle.
And it's going to do it for the interviews tonight here. Finny, going to wrap up a very long down. And these are all social media from today because I haven't had a chance to do that. But Connor Horn gets it done in wild, spectacular fashion. I don't know any other different Connor Horn.
Yeah, honestly, it's a fantastic drive from him, getting 3 wins this season, and we're kind of established our own, really big 3 in the series. I think it's going to really come down to, I was talking about it earlier in this race, but really this win cements Connor Horn as one of them, alongside Yusuf Golly and Zach Carr. Carr finishing in 4th, unfortunately for Golly, way back down the order. He would have been another driver that had a shot at the win. Unfortunately, couldn't.
It's going to do it for us tonight. We're going to be back live with you on Sim TV tomorrow at 9:40, but we'll be on the GT World YouTube channel and the GT World Challenge America Facebook page tomorrow at 3 for the GT Rivals round number 3 from, where are we? Paul Ricard tomorrow afternoon. That, of course, Competizione. Thank you so much for everyone joining us tonight in the YouTube chat, for keeping us busy and entertained during this long afternoon for me. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you later.